Ladies and gentlemen, our next honor of the night goes to a graduate who has achieved true distinction in her field and whose integrity and ability inspires alumni, faculty, staff, and students alike. Pinnacle achievement seems in some ways like an understatement for this graduate, Kathleen Taylor.
For me personally, to have started in the joint program of law and business and then to have ended up with a career in hospitality, probably not an obvious straight line or bright line connection, but does send an important message, I think, to people that the sky's the limit. When I first came to Four Seasons, I wasn't really looking for a career in hospitality. I was really looking for some business experience. I thought that if I was going to move up in the world, I probably would need to move on. Ultimately, though, what I found at Four Seasons was a job that I absolutely loved. Mentoring is a huge obligation because it really is something you have to come to work thinking about every day. You may not actually actively mentor someone every day, but you are, even unknowingly, because they're watching you. They're watching the things you say, they're watching the things you do, they're watching how you act under stress and pressure, and they're learning from those experiences.
Four Seasons President and CEO Kathleen Taylor is one of the country's foremost business leaders. Kathleen's impressive rise from corporate counsel to head of one of the best-known luxury hospitality companies in the world exemplifies the benefits of her Osgood-Schulich Joint JD MBA. Recently named one of Canada's top 100 most powerful women, Kathleen is also an active contributor to her community, volunteering for the Toronto United Way and Hospital for Sick Children Foundation. The first woman named Corporate Hotelier of the World by Hotels magazine, and the first of her family to attend university, Kathleen embodies the qualities of a true global leader.
I'm a big believer in building stronger communities will build a better future for everyone. Focusing and investing in our kids is a huge part of what leaders need to do, I think, not only in Canada, but all around the world. I think one of the biggest challenges that people face in business and in life is figuring out how to make the kinds of choices that will give them the life that they're looking for. Some people call it work-life balance. I refer to it all the time as, your personal compromises. And I think the joint program that I experienced at York was great training for those difficult choices. You were always extremely busy from an academic perspective. There were many, many clubs and causes to get involved in, be they political or philanthropic or cultural. You had to get your work done, you had to keep your marks up, but you also wanted to have a lot of the personal and relationship experiences that those programs offer. And so figuring out how to fit that all together in a way that worked for you personally was particularly good training for what was to come in business life. I think the greatest memory we probably have of our days in the joint program was being underground a lot. We actually were the Faculty of Administrative Studies back when I did my MBA, and we were connected to the law school through some underground passageways, which is where the food and beverage was. And if you contrast our experience to what is available to Canadian and international students, both at Osgood and Schulich today, there's just no way to describe the progress that's been made. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, obviously winning the Pinnacle Award is a huge honor, and to be awarded this distinguished prize by the university is absolutely fantastic for me, and I think sends a wonderful signal to people who have also graduated from York about the value of the York education.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to you the 2012 Bryden Alumni Award winner for Pinnacle Achievement, Kathleen Taylor.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family. Obviously, you can hear from the video, I very deeply appreciate the honor that you do me today. To be counted among, have you taken time to read these awards at the back of the room? To be counted among the past Bryden Alumni Award winners, but more importantly, tonight's, is truly a very, very extraordinary and distinguished honor. Those of you who know me well know I've been very proud of my association with York University. The truth is that from a very young age, I loved going to school. Chris, I never skipped class. I was one of those kids who was just a do-gooder, always wanted to win that trophy. But like you, I continue to have a tremendous love of learning. And one of the lessons that I took away from my days at the MBA and law school is a story that I'll tell you tonight. But most importantly, when I chose those programs, it wasn't for academic reasons. It was that I knew that graduating from them would take an extraordinarily long time. This was the longest graduate degree in existence at the time that I enrolled. But also, it's fair to say that what I learned while I was there has served me very, very well in my career and provided me with an extraordinary base of knowledge that enabled me, like so many of the recipients before me and those tonight, to go on and pursue my dreams. But I also came away with some very, very practical life skills. These programs were truly a training ground, as you heard me say in the video, for juggling real-life priorities and competing interests. And it's where we learned, as students in both the business school and the law school, to function very well without adequate sleep, something that is extraordinarily important as a parent or if you're traveling around the world all the time. It was also a crash course in time management. So many, many little things that proved to be lifelong lessons for me. And I think we sometimes take for granted some of those experiences that we learn in university, but the non-academic ones can be some of the most important lessons of all. For me, I think the most profound set of memories that I have at York, apart from being underground, was the value of building relationships across all kinds of skill sets, diverse backgrounds, course loads, projects. The people who we juggled project timetables, exam timetables, assignment timetables with, all came from different backgrounds, all came from different cultures, all came from different interests. But we had really, really common interests that brought us together. And those relationships made an indelible impression on me. They had to translate, of course, if you were going to get out of there, into great marks. But they also translated into so many good times that I reflect on more than I can count. And in my business career at Four Seasons, which has now spanned almost 24 years, successful relationships and building them are at the root of our company's success. We operate 90 hotels today in 36 different countries across more cultures and more diverse landscapes than I even experienced when I was at York. And the relationships that we have with guests and customers, our hotel owners, nearly 40,000 employees worldwide today, are really the power behind our company and, I believe, any great organization. When I was growing up, my parents always taught us kids that you would get far in life if you treated other people the way you expected to be treated. And this is a value foundation that forms the culture that is Four Seasons. Key ingredients, I think, to any business success based on relationships. And I think what has brought me really a good deal of success in my business career. These are the ethics that provide us guidance on how to deal with others when they're dealing with us, and really are the most rewarding relationships that we can build in business. But of course, for most of us in this room, The most important relationship of all is the one we have with family, with friends. Anyone with a busy work life knows that you don't get to stand here at these lecterns or have celebrations at these evenings unless you have tremendous support from your family and extended family and friends. My husband and I now are watching our son and our youngest daughter as they now experience what they're going to learn in university. And while we do expect them to move from one year to the next and hopefully get the grades that will allow them to do that, we do help them focus also on the things that are more than just about the coursework. And I really hope that, like I was able to do at York, they can form so many experiences and life skills that will allow them to achieve what they want to achieve out of life. So thank you all, once again, for the extremely distinctive accolade. It's truly an honor to be with you tonight. Thank you.